few of my dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries. These are my boundaries. You do what you want to do. These are mine. You asked me in our first few dates for nail, hair, shoe money. You're clipped.
I saw this video and it kind of reminded me of myself when I was like my early mid-20s. I was a sergeant in the military. I was like very hyper masculine and also like kind of wounded and like pretty insecure and didn't know it yet.
What it sounds like is you're dealing with a bunch of women who either are out of your league, only gave you their number for their safety, or immediately realize they just don't like you, don't know how to do it.
Few of my dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries. These are my boundaries. You do what you want to do. These are mine. I get your number, you give me your schedule, and I plan a date. If for some reason you're busy on that date and you can't make it, it is up to you to give me the day that you're free or your next availability. I'm not about to keep asking. That's too close to begging. Play with somebody else. Number 2, if you ask me in our first few dates for nail, hair, shoe money, you're clipped. You're looking for a sponsor. You're not looking for a relationship. Why these things aren't already done? I don't care how much money I got. It's mine that I work for. Don't ask me to do some shit that you're not doing for yourself. Number 3, if by the 3rd or 4th date, you don't at least offer to buy a round of drinks or treat me to the next one, you're clipped. You're not a vibe. You're a bill. I would never let you pay, but at least offer. Make me think you want to pay. And if you forget to say thank you after I done planned and paid for this date, you're clipped. It don't cost you nothing to say thank you. Number 4, if I offer to pick you up or send you a car, you have a 5-minute window to get there. You knew about this date a day earlier and hours earlier. You should have been ready. I have pulled off after waiting 7 minutes before. You don't respect my time. I respect yours. Number 5, if we cannot do an active date, all right, tennis, hike, workout, it's clipped. You're clipped. I know me. I'm gonna catch the ick real fast. We just ain't gonna work out, literally or figuratively. Number 6, you like to go ghost for 2 and 3 days, or I find that you only respond when I text first. You're a clip. Ain't nobody that busy. It'll take you 10 seconds to respond to a message. Hey, busy day. I'll check for you later. That works for me because I don't need to talk to you every day, all day anyway. There is a huge difference from texting, which is mutual, and you just responding. Fuck out of here. Number 7, probably should have been number 1. Poor hygiene. It's gonna be a firm no for me. That breath ain't hitting, if them toes ain't kicking, and if them nails ain't clean, it ain't gotta be done. Just be clean. Your ass is clipped. You're a woman. It's the least you can do. And then lastly, I'm a little bit more lenient on this one because I don't expect much. We just started dating. If I see that you just innately lack nurturing qualities, it's clipped. I can't teach you how to be a woman to a man. You should not teach me how to be a man to a woman. Can't teach you that. It's clip.
Before I tell y'all how I feel, I want to read some of the comments real quick. All right, so these comments say, I hope you find him, girl. These aren't boundaries. These are expectations in dating. Boundaries regulate your behavior, not others. You're allowed to have expectation, but big difference between boundaries and expectations. Okay. Women weren't the target audience. Another comment calling him sassy. My non-negotiable convicted criminal. Y'all know, so crazy because women actually love this guy's content. Imagine a man who you can do skincare with. Love me a clean man. Like, women love this guy's content. But now that he's giving his boundaries, it's seeming like they're now against him. Why does it seem so angry? A 5-minute window, what are you, the president? These are valid, but it's something about the delivery. But now I want to break down from my point of view, before we watch some videos of other people talking about this video, I want to break it down from my point of view of how I feel about what he said, and do I agree?
My dating non-negotiables as a man with strict boundaries. These are my boundaries. You do what you want to do. These are mine. I get your number, you give me your schedule, and I plan a date. If for some reason you're busy on that date and you can't make it, it is up to you to give me the day that you're free or your next availability. I'm not about to keep asking. That's too close to begging. Play with somebody else.
I completely agree. I completely agree but before we get into that, I found a way that y'all could make some side hustle money on your phones. But the only thing is that you have to play games on your phones. And I know that a lot of people do not like playing games on their phone and stuff like that, but this is an easy way to make some bread. Even if you can only make an extra $100 or $200 a month, that could pay a couple bills just by playing games on your phone. And if you click my link in the description below or in the comments below, you could start out with a free $5. These companies are literally paying people just for y'all to play games on your phone. That is crazy. But just try it out. Go peep the games that they have. If you don't like it, hey, it is what it is. But I say it's worth a try. When somebody really wants to do something and they can't make it, they will make an effort to say, look, I'm so sorry, I'm not available this Friday because my little sister's birthday, but I am available on Saturday. Does Saturday work for you? I stand on that because when I really want to do something, like I think about if my bros was to be like, yo, bro, come play ball with us on Friday. And I really want to play ball, but maybe my wife asked me to go on a date with her. I'm going to be like, dang, can y'all boys go on Saturday instead? Because me and my wife, we already said we're going on Friday. I'm not going to say, I can't go because I got to go somewhere with my wife. I'm going to make it an effort to see if I can meet y'all another time. And I have this thing that I tell everybody, and I also tell myself, the easiest way to know if somebody likes you, how would that woman be if you was Chris Brown? Now, I understand Chris Brown is Chris Brown and you are who you are, but Chris Brown puts his drawers on just like I do. I put my drawers on just like he does. So imagine if C Breezy was to ask you, ladies, if you're watching, was to ask you out on a date on Friday and you can't make it. Aren't you going to give him your actual availability, the day that you're actually available, or are you just going to cancel on him? So me personally, I completely agree with that one. If you really want to go, you'll either give me a good rescheduled time, but you're not just going to just outright cancel on me. Imagine what this sounds like right here. I want to go on a date with you. So I'm asking you to go on a date with me this Friday. You say, oh, I'm so sorry, I can't go this Friday. So I say, okay, well, what about Saturday? Me and my girls, we already had something planned. Okay, so what about Sunday? Doesn't it seem like I'm kind of begging you and you're not giving no give? That sounds like you really don't want to go on a date. I can completely understand how that would be a red flag and kind of push you away.
Number two, if you ask me in our first few dates for nail, hair, shoe money, you're clipped. You're looking for a sponsor. You're not looking for a relationship. Why these things aren't already done?
Yeah, I'm not paying for a stranger's nails, shoes, or hair. In the beginning, I'm not trying to splurge on you because I don't want things to be too foggy, and I don't know whether or not you like me for me or all the things I've been doing for you. You know, in other words, you see an opportunity over here. The way I used to see dating was like, I need to know that we have a connection here. Like if God forbid, Hurricane Katrina was to hit Atlanta and we don't have none of the intangibles, I want to know that I will still be comfortable with the person that I'm with and they will stick beside me. I'm not trying to over fancy you into getting you to like me. I'm not trying to cash app you money, Zelle you to get you to like me. And for me, that has never been a problem. Now, I think it was proposed to me one time and I shot it down. But what I've learned is when somebody really likes you, they're not looking for you to throw money at them early. Because when I can't give you the intangibles, I get to see, do we really have a connection? These are the things that are very important in the beginning. All the money and spending on you, all that stuff will come later. I'm not about to be just sending money to a stranger and then I don't hear from you. I'm not about to be sending you money for you to get your nails done and you going out with somebody else. I'm not spending, in other words, I'm not just going to send you individual money to your bank account until I know we're exclusive. I don't see why that's difficult to understand at all.
I don't care how much money I got. It's mine that I work for. Don't ask me to do some shit that you're not doing for yourself. Number three, if by the third or fourth date, you don't at least offer to buy a round of drinks or treat me to the next one, you're clipped. You're not a vibe. You're a bill. I would never let you pay, but at least offer. Make me think you want to pay.
I'm not going to say you would be clipped, but I will say it's a red flag because it's a super green flag when you say something like, oh, I'll pay the tip. The same way you're auditing me or you're trying to see if I'm a guy worth your time, I'm also trying to see if you're a girl worth my time. And there's a lot of women, especially in Atlanta, that just go out just for a free meal or just for a free time. So when you offer like, oh, I got the next round of drinks, it is one of those moments like, all right, she's not just here for a free time. She's not just here just to benefit off of me. She will actually give into this as well. She's invested as well. And me personally, I'm going to tell you, no, put your card away. You good. But the initiative of you trying to pay tells me that you value my money and you don't think that my money grows on trees. Men really appreciate that because there are a lot of women out here, especially in today's time, that are only in it for how they will benefit.
If you forget to say thank you after I done planned and paid for this date, you're clipped. It don't cost you nothing to say thank you.
With this one right here, I would say it's more of a red flag that I might think about. Like if you don't say thank you after like the second date or something like that, then I'll probably judge you off for the thank you, because I think when you're nervous and the anticipation is kind of high and you may have gotten so stuck in the moment of just enjoying yourself with me, I may pick up on your vibe. Does your vibe say thank you? Are you appreciative of this time? Are you trying to enjoy yourself with me? Or are you just on your phone scrolling? Are you giving into the conversation? If all of those is there, like we're actually able to enjoy ourselves and I don't get a thank you by the end of the night, I'm not going to say you're clipped, you'll never hear from me again. Nah, that's crazy. Because some people just really get stuck in the moment. Now, if you just sitting there and it don't look like you really enjoying yourself, it's more like you're answering my questions, not asking me any questions. And then at the end of the night, you just get in the car and the whole night was just dry and I don't get no thank you. Yeah, you're probably clipped because you was a bad vibe and now you coming off like you wasn't appreciative.
Number 4, if I offer to pick you up or send you a car, you have a 5-minute window to get there. You knew about this date a day earlier and hours earlier. You should have been ready. I have pulled off after waiting 7 minutes before. You don't respect my time. I don't respect yours. Number 5,
Well, it all depends. I think for that one, it really depends. Like, it depends because women take so long to get ready. And fellas, I know for us, it can be irritating because we can get ready so fast. But it is a compliment that she's trying to really do herself up for you, though. Is it a turnoff to be sitting in the car waiting? Most definitely. 5 minutes when you sitting in the car outside somebody's house knowing you got reservations is a long time. So when I say you clip, I ain't gonna say you clip, but I will say this is starting off the date on a bad note. Because again, I go back to my Chris Brown analogy. If Chris Brown tell you 3 p.m., you're going to be outside at 2:50. And I know some of y'all probably like, yeah, but it's Chris Brown. That is another man in my eyes. And I just want to say this real quick because a lot of y'all seen my short video, me taking my wife to the Chris Brown concert. And I just got to say this real quick. Fellas, y'all do understand that Chris Brown is not just humping the crowd. He's not just pulling random girls and just humping the crowd. Number 2, Chris Brown is our time's Michael Jackson. Go see Chris Brown before this man is not performing no more. He is one of the best performers that we have right now. So many people in my comments like, bro, you're bugging. Really on Instagram, bro, you're bugging. Oh my God, this is so simpy. Just stuff like that. And I'm like, now I know I made a joke, for the video or whatever, but I told my wife I wanted to go see Chris Brown. I grew up on Chris Brown. I know his whole album where he was wearing the white suit. My wife's not really a Chris Brown fan, but of course she didn't mind going. This is our time's Michael Jackson. Between him and Beyonce, you gotta see them. You gotta get that experience before they stop performing. That's just how I see it. So this is no hate towards Chris Brown at all. But I bring up Chris Brown because I'm not one of the dudes that will sit here beside my girl and watch her go crazy over another man. No, we're not doing that. That is still another man at the end of the day.
we cannot do an active date, all right? Tennis, hike, workout. It's clipped. You're clipped. I know me, I'm gonna catch the ick real fast. We just ain't gonna work out, literally or figuratively. Number 6.
Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. If I gotta spend money every time I see you, it's probably gonna turn me off. You know what I mean? Like, it's probably gonna, it's gonna make me look at this like, yo, every time I see her, I gotta budget some money. Nah, it'll eventually turn me off. Like, if I say to you, yo, let's go for a walk or let's go hiking or something like that. Let's get a workout in. We don't have that common interest, and a lot of my life revolves around exercising. We're not gonna work out. I can understand why he said that.
You like to go ghost for 2 and 3 days, or I find that you only respond when I text first, you're a clip. Ain't nobody that busy. It take you 10 seconds to respond to a message.
That is very true. People will disappear on you for days and then be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I've been so busy. If I was really that important, you could shoot me a quick message. When somebody doesn't really like you, texting you back is not a priority. But let's be honest here, y'all. Let's be honest. The majority of us spend a lot of time on our phone. We're at least gonna scroll on social media overall, maybe 1 hour a day. We're gonna watch some videos on YouTube. We have time to text the people that we actually want to talk to. So when somebody gives the excuse that, oh, they've been busy, oh, they've been so busy, or they missed your message, no, that means that that person has not been thinking about you. That person has not been prioritizing you. Most people are not gonna outright say, hey, I'm sorry, you wasn't really a priority in my last few days because I've been doing other things. Most people are not gonna outright say that out their mouth because that sounds so mean. Sometimes you just gotta understand that without it being said. And ladies, for all these things that he's saying, I want you to see it as if your son is saying it or as if your brother is going through it. Because it's easy to be like, oh no, when you're the person on the other side being held accountable.
Hey, busy day, I'll check for you later. That works for me because I don't need to talk to you every day, all day anyway. There is a huge difference from texting, which is mutual, and you just responding. Fuck out of here. Number 7, probably should have been number 1. Poor hygiene. That's gonna be a firm no for me.
Yeah, texting versus you just responding is like, how's your day going? Oh, my day is going good. Crickets. You're not gonna ask how my day is going. You're not gonna give me actual detail. No, you're just checking the box to say, oh, I responded. There's a big difference. Please realize these things. And sometimes people could just miss the mark. But when it's consistent, you need to start considering that this person may not see you as a priority.
That breath ain't hitting, if them toes ain't kicking, and if them nails ain't clean, ain't gotta be done. Just be clean. Your ass is clipped. You're a woman. The least you can do.
Your ass is
lastly,
clipped.
I'm a little bit more lenient on this.
If it's consistent, again, like if your breath is hot, maybe you had you had a bad day. But if your breath is hot every time I see you for like 3 dates in a row, you know what I mean? Your nails is dirty, like you got the black joints in your nails and you don't work on cars or something like that. Me personally, I care about my hygiene a lot. So those things do stand out to me.
Because I don't expect much. We just started dating. If I see that you just innately lack nurturing qualities, it's clip. I can't teach you how to be a woman to a man. You should not teach me how to be a man to a woman. Can't teach you that. It's clip.
You know, that one is kind of tricky because in the beginning, it's hard to see whether or not a woman has nurturing qualities in the beginning. I guess one of the ways you can see if she has nurturing qualities is how nurturing is she to y'all's conversation. The same way we're not trying to just cash app and Zelle women. Women aren't trying to hurry up and hop in our kitchen. Women ain't trying to hurry up and come clean for us. So seeing how she's nurturing in conversation is a way. We can't act like it's not a little bit difficult for a woman to show her nurturing qualities early on. Now I want to hear what other people got to say about this.
There are a few of my dating.
All right, this little clip right here is a little long, so I'm going to cut it off.
Boundaries. These are my boundaries. You do what you want to do. These are mine.
So I saw this video and it kind of reminded me of myself when I was like my early mid-20s. I was a sergeant in the military. I was like very hyper masculine and also like kind of wounded and like pretty insecure and didn't know it yet. And some of you might see this video and think it's super refreshing. Like, oh my goodness, it's a man with standards, like finally, right? But others might hear this and think it feels kind of cold and rigid. I played this video for my wife and she was like, I wish y'all could have seen her face. Here's the thing. As a married man with a very soft, nurturing, feminine woman, and as a guy who was former military and also worked in counterintelligence, and then I spent the last 4 years coaching people on emotional regulation, things like that, I think there's some nuance here that you'll want to pay attention to, okay? Especially if you want to experience a life that is more regulated and relaxed, and you want to experience relationships that are truly healthy versus like kind of performative.
Well, I want to hear this.
The first thing, like what's being described in this video are not boundaries, okay? They're standards, they're expectations, they're rules, and like not knowing the difference is worth paying attention to. Both that he maybe doesn't know the difference and worth paying attention to if maybe you didn't know the difference. Maybe this is like new information for you that's worth paying attention to. Boundaries protect us, right? Like for example, if you raise your voice, then I'm going to step away. Okay, that's a boundary. Expectations and standards attempt to control things outside of you. Do this or you're gone.
Okay.
Do this or you're gone. And that's the language that he used. And we'll talk about that. But ultimately, like, this type of rigidity usually stems in wanting our partner to meet needs that maybe weren't met as children. Man or woman, if you act this way, if you have a lot of these unspoken expectations, uncommunicated expectations, and there's a lot of them, ultimately the other person ends up feeling like they're walking on eggshells. And this is because you are kind of volatile, and maybe that's representative of the environment that you grew up in, okay? You may have lacked a level of safety with one of your primary caregivers or both, and now you look for perfection and have very high standards because that's what gives you a sense of control and safety now. But I'm here to tell you, like, as I've gotten older, as I've matured emotionally and spiritually, true masculine leadership is not concerned with controlling anyone or anything. Like, that's not leadership and control.
I'm thinking back about what he said, and I don't really see how it was controlling. If I try to set a date with you and you cancel on me and you don't give me your availability, I don't really see how that's controlling if I don't talk to you anymore. Now, I think it's controlling if I be like, let's go out on Friday at 8 o'clock. You say, oh, nah, I'm sorry, I'm busy. I got to go to my sister's birthday. And I say, no, don't go to your sister's birthday. You know what? I'm done with you. Now that's controlling, but I think there's a big difference between controlling and having standards. This is where the conversation kind of gets a little bit messy because every time a man has standards, we throw these words of insecurity and controlling on it. I'm gonna hear this brother out though.
Think about, oh, did y'all see that wasp? Like, think about our current president, how he's so concerned with law and order, right? Like, does he represent leadership to you, honestly? Now I can see this brother is like attractive probably to like a lot of people. He has a lot of resources. He reminds me of those guys, those podcast guys that usually see themselves and talk about themselves as the prize, which is, I'm not even going to talk about that. But I do think it's good to know your worth, right? I do think that's a really good thing. But the language and the delivery to me matters, okay? Calling women something to clip is objectifying. And like, man or woman, when we do this to each other, it doesn't necessarily, like, not even necessarily, it doesn't open the door to connection and intimacy. It just doesn't, okay? Now, again, we tend to do this to people when we've been hurt, right? This is posturing. This is a wall. Like, rappers put this wall up against transactional women trying to take from them, but they're also often very transactional in their behavior themselves. So chicken or the egg, I don't know which came first. But if you hear a man talk like this and it actually sounds attractive to you, that's worth reflecting on. Because if he talks like this, one, this is the same transactional energy he's trying to protect himself against, but also he's giving that, okay? So you might not want to be in a relationship like that. But also, two, you might be drawn to this kind of rigidity and structure if you've been in chaotic relationships. A man with firm rules can feel safe, but the thing that you have to watch out for is it feels safe at first. And I'm intentionally not using the word boundaries here again because everything that he laid out here are not boundaries. Over time, all of these rules, these checklists, these expectations, and I don't even know at what point you communicate them. Probably a huge turnoff if you do.
I would definitely say you can communicate some of the things that he said to a woman, such as maybe rescheduling the date. How much should you communicate to somebody that I realize that you go ghost after 2 days? And I mean, maybe you can say to somebody, okay, I realize you go ghost after 2 days pretty consistently. Am I a priority to you? It's starting to feel like I'm not a priority to you. I definitely think these things can be communicated. There is something real to what he's saying. Maybe it's the my way or the highway that this guy right here is talking about.
Within the first few dates. But anyways, all of these things ultimately feel controlling as opposed to grounding. Now, when you come from a lot of dysfunction, again, initially, it's going to feel different and it might feel good, but it's not going to stay that way. The opportunity here for you is recognizing that you don't have to outsource your safety to someone else's rigid structure and control. You can learn how to create safety in your own body. Again, this is for you if this is what's attractive to you, okay? When you're regulated, you don't need a man's extensive checklist and rules to feel safe and to feel held. When you're regulated, you can choose a partner who offers clarity and compassion, not control and expectation and cold energy. I remember.
I mean, his delivery was definitely aggressive, but I just don't see it, y'all. Like, what did he say that was like so just outrageous to the point where it's like, oh my God, you're not safe with him, other than having standards? Ladies, can you imagine pulling up to a guy's house to come pick him up? Sounds crazy, I know, but I'm just trying to reverse the roles real quick so y'all can understand. And he leaves you sitting in your car for 10 minutes before he comes outside. Is he wrong for making that a red flag?
Marriage therapist told me once, your job, your soldiers, like, they need Sergeant Scott, but your wife needs Sydney. That's what really changed the game for me.
No, that's very true. Like, who your wife needs is very different from who the world needs. But a girl you're dating is not your wife. This is a stranger. Let's be honest. Let's put the words out there. This is a stranger that you don't know, and you're still trying to find out if they value your time so they can get the husband version of you. So I'm not going to treat a girl I'm dating like my wife. I don't expect her to treat me like her husband. I think what this guy is saying is very valid, but it's for a different conversation, though.
I said a lot in what my therapist just said. Really, she said a lot. And you got to be able to know the difference. You got to be able to grasp all that simple line means. The real question here at the end of the day is not, do I meet his standards, but ultimately, why does this energy feel attractive to me? And what does that tell me about where I still might need some healing myself? Because at the end of the day, again, clarity without warmth is not leadership, it's insecurity. More than likely. And again, masculine leadership has very little to do with control and having an extensive list of rules. And I don't know why he's bucking at the...
Only respond when I text first. You're a clip. Ain't nobody that busy.
I saw another man stitch this video, so I wanted to come to the original so that I could watch it, because all the comments were saying how angry he sounded and his eyes and all this other stuff, right? And after watching the video myself, baby, it sounds like you've been dealing with a bunch of women who don't like you, who don't want to be around you, who don't care. These women are trying to see what they can get out of you. You're talking about women who are asking you for nail money, hair money within the first week of meeting you. Women who do not text you back. Women who leave you on red. Women who only text you when you text them. Women who cancel dates and don't tell you when their availability is, or don't even let you know a heads up. What it sounds like is you're dealing with a bunch of women who either are out of your league, only gave you their number for their safety, or immediately realize they just don't like you and don't know how to tell you.
But that is the point. that is the exact point in why he made the video. If he sees these things, he's gonna feel like you don't like him. This is the exact point. She just validated everything he just said.
Baby, it sounds like you've been dealing with a bunch of women who don't like you, who don't want to be around you, who don't
Remember
care.
that Chris Brown
These
analogy I
women are trying to
gave
see
you?
what they can get out of you. You're talking about women who are asking you for nail money, hair money within the first week of meeting you. Women who do not text you back. Women who leave you on red. Women who only text you when you text them. Women who cancel dates and don't tell you when their availability is, or don't even let you know a heads up. What it sounds like is you're dealing with a bunch of women who either are out of your league, only gave you their number for their safety, or immediately realize they just don't like you and don't know how to tell you. I don't know you from a can of paint, but everything that you described doesn't sound like, you know, your list of things. It just sounds almost like, they don't sound like standards. It sounds like boundaries. It sounds like these are the things you're not going to deal with. I think instead of making a list of the things that you will and will not deal with, maybe just continue working on yourself and becoming a better person and attracting the woman that you want by your own light. Because right now it kind of sounds like you might be the problem and you're not noticing it in the way that you pick women. So
Okay.
think about that.
Okay. So most of his content is him giving flowers to women, him talking about taking women on dates and stuff like that. It is content. If a man makes one video saying, if a man makes 100 videos saying how I praise the floor that a woman walks on, and then he starts talking about his boundaries, it's like, maybe you need to heal. Wait a minute. The brother, that's usually what he does. He gives y'all flowers. But in giving you flowers, there's certain boundaries, there's certain standards that he has for you to get there. But now I want to hear what y'all got to say, because this video is way longer than I was expecting it to be. But I don't think there's anything wrong with people having boundaries or standards or whatever you want to call it. They are for you. They're not for anybody else to validate. Me personally, I just agree with most of those. And I just want to say this to my guys. When a woman really likes you, she's not doing those things. She's going to find a way to text you back. They can't stop thinking about the guy. If she's going days without talking to you, you are not a priority. In my life, in my experience, when people do that, it's usually because there's either something else that's going on in their life, they're battling on whether or not they actually want to deal with you, or they're just not that interested. So the best thing to do, if this person really matters and they're worth it, is to have a conversation about it. But like I say, y'all, I want to hear what y'all got to say in the comments below. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe button, turn on my post notifications, and as I always say, if you want to make some money playing games on your phone, click the link in the description below or the link in the comments below. These companies are literally paying people just to play games on your phone. It's crazy to me. If it ain't for you, it ain't for you. But if it is for you and you catch yourself making some money, make your money. But I say just try it out. It's been your boy Ty Boogie. Until next time, y'all, I'm out of here, man.